Today, Argentina is synonymous with economic collapse, but in the early 1900s, it ranked among the 10 wealthiest nations on Earth. The foundation of this growth was a massive, flat region called the Pampas. These fertile plains gave the country the ideal conditions to produce wheat and cattle at a global scale. The invention of the refrigerated shipping container accelerated this. Argentina could suddenly slaughter cattle, freeze the beef, and ship it across the Atlantic, drawing in European capital that transformed the nation's infrastructure. But this prosperity hit a structural flaw. Argentina relied almost exclusively on exporting primary goods, basic commodities like meat and grain. They sold these to buy expensive manufactured items from abroad, which left their entire economy at the mercy of international buyers. That vulnerability was exposed in 1929. When the Great Depression triggered a global market crash, the purchasing power of consumers in Europe and the United States evaporated. The math for Argentina was brutal. Because foreign nations could no longer afford to import beef, the prices of Argentina's exports dropped by 50 to 66%. The country's primary source of income vanished almost overnight, triggering a wave of widespread unemployment and poverty. Their geography had become a trap. This economic vacuum created a desperate population, one that turned to radical political solutions to find a way out. In the 1940s, a military officer named Juan Perón rose to power with a mission to sever this reliance on foreign buyers and make Argentina entirely self-sufficient. To fund this, Perón heavily taxed the agricultural sector. He funneled that cash into building local factories and launching extensive social welfare programs. To ensure people bought from these new factories, the government imposed strict protectionist tariffs. Without the pressure to compete with foreign imports, domestic industries became inefficient and expensive. While these immediate benefits made Perón a hero to the working class, his policies broke the nation's ledger. The government was now spending cash much faster than it could actually earn it. This deficit created a four-step macroeconomic cycle that subsequent governments could not escape. It starts with overspending. When the treasury ran dry, instead of cutting popular social programs, administrations took out billions of dollars in foreign loans from entities like the International Monetary Fund. Eventually, those loans matured. When the government couldn't pay them back, they took the third step. They fired up the money printers. Flooding an economy with paper money causes hyperinflation. As millions of new bills enter circulation, the value of every single peso is diluted, pushing the cycle back to the start. By the late 1980s, prices were doubling almost every month. Citizens had to sprint to the grocery store on payday, knowing if they waited just a few hours, their wages would lose most of their value. The quick fix of printing money created a mathematical trap, compounding the nation's poverty with every administration that tried to spend its way to a solution. In 2001, this century-long cycle of borrowing and printing reached a devastating climax. The country defaulted on roughly $100 billion of international debt. At the time, it was the largest national default in history. The domestic breakdown was explosive. The government froze bank accounts, riots tore through the streets, and the country cycled through 5 different presidents in just 2 weeks. This crash was the foreseeable outcome of the economic loop the nation had operated for decades. Argentina remains trapped in this same cycle today. It is an economy plagued by high taxes and soaring inflation that constantly wipes out the savings of the population. This modern suffering is the long-term result of the original primary export trap and the reactionary policies that followed. The country serves as a case study. Natural wealth means nothing if a nation falls victim to poor political decisions and the temptation of printing money.